Right, so this is going to be a quick introduction to part 2, which will be the dismantling and cleaning. So all the parts will go into there. Take it apart, so all the big plastic parts in there, like obviously the chassis, the bumpers, the A-arms and all that. Use my muck off, and then obviously give it a hose down. Screws I will probably put into a small pot with some WD-40 just to give them a bit of a clean. And the small parts like the arms, I'll just probably clean those with a bit of WD-40 and a cloth. So, same with the wheels, I'll dump those in there. And gotta try and get rid of that yellow paint somehow. So, yeah. And, yeah. I mean, in general, it looks like it's just basically just some dirt. Doesn't look like there's anything sort of damaged on it other than the scratches there. The A-arms don't look scratched, so that's fine. Bit of damage there, but that's also fine because I do have like 2 or 3 of these spare bumpers. So yeah, let's put that getting into the light. It's, yeah, I think it's literally just very light dirt, surface dust sort of thing. So these should clean up pretty easily, hopefully. So yeah, once it's all kind of clean and in bits, yeah, I can try and start getting the bits for it. Like I said, I do have a spare HPI firebolt with missing the label, but I don't know how good that is, so that might not be used. But considering that these are like only 10, 12 pounds, I may as well get a new one. I don't know. But I do have a spare receiver, I do have a spare speed controller, I do have a battery. Turns out I don't have a servo, so I'm gonna have to get one of those. So yeah, I have decided I'm gonna get the Audi A4 Quattro touring body, at least to start with. I might still get the Tamiya Focus WRC custom body, and I might get the L&L models body just so I can make it look like this, because I'm hoping that the remainder of the decals will fit on the L&L models chassis. Body, which is the same design as that, whereas the Focus WRC Custom, it's a little different on the front and the rear, and you know, there's a few little bits different here and there. So the L&L models one is the same as that, but it's not Tamiya, so I've got no idea what it's going to be like. But yeah, other than that, yeah, should be pretty simple cleanup job. I hope that muck off will do quite well. I mean, I'm still going to use a brush, just to sort of get in all the little bit. Oh, there's bloody paint there and all. Okay. Okay. No paint anywhere else except for there. Oh, there's a bit there as well. Ah dear. Paint. Why is there? What is that? Okay. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this recording, get it dismantled, get it all bits in there, and then obviously I'll come back once all the bits are done, and then we'll obviously do a bit of the muck off cleaning and whatnot. And yeah, that might be another day though, because yeah, but we'll see. We'll come back. So yeah, in a few seconds we'll cut and you'll see this all dismantled in said tub. So yeah, see you in a few seconds. Right, here we go, chapter 2 of part 2. The chassis is now in bits there and is ready to be sprayed with this stuff, my muck off. Good stuff, very good stuff actually. So yeah, I'm going to spray that all in there, leave it on there for a couple of minutes, and then hose it down with the hose. There's the gears, absolutely bone dry. Not a single piece of grease except on the spur gear. What? Yeah, except on the spur gear there's a little bit of grease, but other than that, absolutely bone dry. Even the diffs are bone dry. Yeah, nothing there at all. these are the bearings, sorry, bushings, sorry, which I need to get the new bearings to replace, as well as just a load of other little bits. These are some of the metal parts, just resting in some WD-40, coming up nice and clean. And the screws also. The screws weren't too bad actually. A little bit of dirt, a little bit of rust, but not too shabby. These are the pitiful shocks, which I am cleaning because they will be going back on until I can get some of the oil-filled shocks, which I believe these are the same size as the TL-01 and 2s, so should be relatively simple to get some of those. Let's see what else. That's the drive shaft, kind of a little bit corroded. I'm gonna use some Brasso there to buff it up, put it in the drill, wrap some Brasso around it, and just give it a bit of a spin, and that should work. If not, I'll go over it with some fine sandpaper and then some Brasso, but that should come up quite well. These wheels, I did remove some of the paint, yellow paint, because yeah, yellow paint all over the place, I don't know why. I removed some of that using some acetone-free nail polish remover, so not completely clean, but I'll get around to that soon. But other than that, yeah, I need to sand these down a bit as well. But thankfully, despite its age, nothing is broken, nothing is cracked, nothing's missing. It was all there. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised about that. So yeah, I'll get on and use that. Some of the screws might need to be brassoed, I don't know, but for the most part, they do look clean. The only problem is that some of the two screws that hold the motor in are almost rounded off, so I'll need some new ones of those. And these hinge pins or step screws, whatever they're called, for the front hubs also look like they're rounding off, so I'll have to get some of those. Unfortunately, I've only got one screw long enough for the motor, which is typical. I need 2 and I've always got 1. I need 4, I've got 3. I need 6, you know, you've always got an odd number of screws. And I only have 1 of these screws here, annoyingly, so I can't even replace those. I'll have to buy some more. I need to buy the bearings. The bearings will probably come first because I need those to rebuild it, so I might get those first. Shocks will come later. The motor that I found, the HPI 5-volt motor that I found, seems to work fine. It does run. That's nice and smooth. I kind of want one with a label on it though, so I don't know. I mean, these are only a tenner, not like 10-11 pounds for Model Sport. Since I have to get the servo and some screws, I might as well get a new one anyway and just kind of like save this for something else. So yeah, these are really cheap though. These are like 11 quid for a 15-turn HPI motor. It's very good. So yeah, there's the electronics. These are they do work actually. I haven't tested the servos, and I can't test that because I don't have a megahertz transmitter. But the motor works. That works. Switch works. This works, I guess. I can't get this off though. That is on there tight as a nut. Cannot get that off. So I'll have to try and pry that off somewhere. But the motor works fine as well. That's quite nice. That's my spare battery. That's my water drink, my water bottle, and the body shell, which I had some hope on because I was able to make a dent. Hello. Yeah, I was actually able to use my acetone-free nail polish remover, and I was able to burn a hole in the paint on both sides. So technically, with enough time and patience, I could remove all of this, but unfortunately the previous owner completely obliterated like the wheel arches on this thing, and I really don't think this is gonna ever look nice again, no matter, even if I remove all the paint. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do with that, so, which is a shame because this is, as previously mentioned, an original Tamiya Focus body. So I could remove the paint over time, but it's never going to look great. Even if I sand it down. I've tried to trim out all the crap, but yeah, it's just too much. I don't think I can save this, unfortunately. So yeah, unfortunately that is going to be a throwaway. I don't think anyone can do anything with that, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I'm going to get on and do this. I don't think I'll record it. I'm sure you all know how drills and brasso and things work, so I won't bother with that. But I will record the spraying and the hosing of this, just because. And yeah, get some grease in the diffs, because like I said, they are bone dry. And yeah, from there on, it's just a case of get the bearings first before anything else, so I can actually rebuild it, and then everything else can kind of come second. The shocks I'm not too concerned about, since I can just use the pogo sticks until I get some new shocks. Just need obviously the servo and a motor, and some screws to hold the motor in, and the screws for the hubs, the C hubs. But other than that, yeah, it's looking good. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the body shell as well, which again, I'm going to get the Audi A4 Quattro Touring, and then I might get an L&L Models Focus, which looks like that one, and then eventually maybe the Tamiya Focus RS Custom, which I've been meaning to get anyway, even before I got this. So yeah, I hope there's no yellow paint on this tire. Actually, no, I think there's actually a bit of yellow paint. I do not. Yeah, I think this person actually painted this yellow. Painted it grey on the inside, and then painted it yellow on the outside by the looks of things. Ow. And then painted it black. So, then painted it grey. So, yeah. Really weird. Really weird. I also just clipped my iPhone and turned silent mode off. That's gonna be okay. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get on and do this, since this is gonna be quick and simple. And then hopefully we'll get on and do this. Yeah. All pretty good. Pretty good so far. And I just love the fact that nothing's cracked or broken. Everything looks like it's in one piece. So yeah, hopefully these tires actually clean up quite well. I can always get some new ones. Because if I do end up getting an L&L Models Focus, I'm going to use the existing decals, try and make it look like that. In which case, I do want these. But if I'm going to get the Audi shell, I'm going to need some wheels that kind of go with it. So I don't think that these will really look all that good with an Audi. So yeah. Yeah, that's it, I think. Not much left to say for this bit. So part 2, like I say, this will be the cleaning video. So all that's next up is that, and then spray that with some of this. I do highly recommend this, not just for RC cars, but just in general, because it does do a good job at cleaning, and you don't really have to scrub. I will anyway. I will use this to sort of get into the nooks and crannies as I'm sort of doing it. But this stuff is very good at lifting the dirt off, even without having to do any scrubbing. So highly recommended. And it's a big bottle as well, for like, I got it for like £7 at Halfords. I think it wasn't offer though. So, but yeah, that'll last you a while, I think. So, and then that on the drive shaft. I might even just do a quick video of the drive shaft once it's all done. So if we look at this now, if the camera can focus, trying to get a good angle on it. So yeah, you can kind of see it's not focusing very well. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you can kind of see it there. So that's the before. So we'll come back with the after. So, and yeah, that and that. So that's it for this chapter. Join me in a few seconds with chapter 3. Actually, I had another word for that. I can't remember what I was going to say. Like, I wasn't going to call it a chapter. I was going to call it something else, but I can't remember what it was. So this is it for chapter 2. In a few seconds, chapter 3. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Yeah, you know what? That's probably enough. Scrub it out with that. And then we'll hose it down. Yeah. We'll leave that for a few minutes. And then we'll come back. You. I might give it another go with that. So, yeah, I didn't think it'll get the paint out, but not too bad overall. But yeah, I'm gonna do one more. We'll do one more, and then yeah, we'll come back to. I'll bring it indoors and it'll be dry and everything. So. Yep. Okay, a few days have passed, a few seconds for you, but a few days for me, and I think I've got most of it like all ready to assemble now. It's all been cleaned as much as I can. It's all been degreased and de-dirtied and all that kind of thing. I think I've done an okay job at salvaging the tyres. Although they don't feel quite right. They feel like they've lost their sort of rubbery texture. I mean, they're still rubbery, but yeah, they feel kind of rough. The tyres, or the wheels, sorry. Yeah, I mean, kinda. I've had to sand them down with some fine sandpaper. I really need to cut my nails still. With some fine sandpaper, but they have kind of lost their sort of glossiness. And they yeah. See, that one's got some Vaseline on it, try and soak into the plastic to try and bring back some of its shine. Not quite sure how well that's going to work. I've done the same thing to that as well. Well, I sanded it at the bottom. It obviously became very, what's the word? Like no longer shiny. But I have heard that if you let Vaseline soak on plastic, especially black plastic, overnight and wipe it off, it soaks into the plastic and kind of gives it back a sort of its original sheen, or at least close enough. I needn't have worried really, because this is the underside of the chassis, so you wouldn't see it, but I thought I'd give it a go. Let's see, yes, I've also given this a clean, nice buff. Yeah. I did briefly show this in one of the other segments of this video. And with a little bit of fine sandpaper and Brasso, that's come up quite nicely. Cleaned all this, the chassis up, and removed all the paint, which I still don't know why there's yellow paint all over this. I'm not quite sure what they painted yellow. I know the body shell had yellow paint on it, which I had to throw that away, unfortunately. I tried removing the paint using nitro, and it was kind of working, but it kind of was affecting the plastic. I'm not quite sure if it was the age or the chemical reaction or both or something, but when I had managed to remove the paint, yeah, the polycarbonate was very cloudy and very milky, so I couldn't have used it. I didn't want to waste all that nitro fuel anyway trying to get the paint off. It was just really struggling. Ooh, take me. Yeah, I was really struggling to get it off. I didn't want to waste all that nitro, so unfortunately I was unable to salvage the body completely, and it did have to be chucked. Thankfully, it looks like I can salvage everything else. So, as I said in the previous video, or in one of the previous segments, there is absolutely no damage that I can see to this chassis. There's no cracks or anything like that. Scratches, yes, but no damage, no cracks, nothing missing. So yeah, it's all good. I did replace these because these were quite badly scratched on the tops and the bottoms, but I had 2 spare ones. No idea why, but I had 2 spare bumpers, so I'm going to use those. It dawned on me while I was looking at these that this thing doesn't have any foam bumper. There's no foam bumper at the front to soften a collision, which is kind of weird. One thing I did notice, actually, this is missing one of its screws, which is fine, I've got plenty. And yeah, you can see I did spend a little while organising this, I don't know why. But this one was missing all of its screws, for some reason. Again, thankfully, I do have plenty of spares. Other than that, yeah, everything cleaned up nicely. So yeah. I did make a cover for the gap where that thing was. That I still can't remember what it's called. Is it? I can't remember. You know, the thing that makes the heat. Jesus, I'm just brain farting. But I made a little cover to just go in there. Did actually make 2, but I wasn't happy with that one, so I made one out of carbon fiber effect vinyl. Sanded it down, curved the edges. Just did that focus? I can't tell if that's focused or not. Yeah, I do apologise for my fingernails. Are quite dirty because I've been working on this. And yeah, I've angled that as well to flow with the thing. I'm not going to pick this up properly and show you because it is covered in Vaseline, which I do need to wipe off. And as you can see, the first thing that I've bought so far is other bearings. So that should be a complete set of 24 bearings, size 1150, and this should be that. Thankfully, they're all the same. This thing just takes all 1150s, so that's good. Hopefully either today or Monday, because today's a Saturday, I'm going to go on to Model Sport and get a few of the other pieces, including the Tamiya CVA shocks, which thankfully are in stock because they do seem to disappear quite a lot. The new motor, the new servo, some Tamiya double-sided tape because that stuff is really good. I'm trying not to swear in these videos. Yeah, the double-sided Tamiya tape is awesome, so I'm gonna get some of that. Oh yeah, the motor screws and the step screws for the C-hubs. There's like 7 or 8 things in the basket, and I've only enabled like 4 or 5. How in God's name have I forgotten what I put in? Oh yeah, pinion gear. It's not a Tamiya one, because people do say don't use those because they're made out of a soft metal. So I'm getting a Schumacher steel pinion, which I'm assuming isn't the same as what is it aluminium the Tamiya one's made out of. I'm not actually sure what the Tamiya, but yeah, another pinion gear. 21 tooth. I'm hoping that with the 15-turn motor, 21 tooth pinion will be fast enough. I can always get a 23 tooth if I need to, but hopefully a 15-turn motor with a 21 tooth pinion should give a good amount of speed, because like I said, I do plan to use this. I'm restoring it in order to use it. So yeah, this won't be a display piece or a shelf queen. I will be using it. So yeah, I still can't remember what the hell. I can't even show you because my PC is not on at the moment. Oh my god. Oh well. And then also I need to get the body shell and the paint. I'm also looking to try and get some turnbuckles for this at least. Replace those. And that should basically be it. I will still try and get that L&L Models Focus shell and possibly even the Tamiya one. So I do want a Focus shell on this, even though to start with I'm getting the Audi A4 Quattro Touring, which I do like the look of. So yeah, but now that I've got these as well, now I can finally after nearly a week of owning this, I can finally at least build this bit up. I should be able to put the servo in while it's together, I think, if I can sort of finagle it a bit. And yeah, oh yeah, and with the body shell I'm going to get some new wheels and tyres as well, so yeah. Still not quite sure what to paint the body shell, but I want to get some black multi-spoke wheels, because I've already got some silver ones of the same design. So I'm going to get some black ones just to have something a little different. And I do like black wheels against a red car. So then again, I also like gold wheels with a red car, but I don't think gold wheels fit an Audi A4 or something. I don't know. So yeah. Now, not much left to say for this little segment, but I do have a bit of a god. So, but yeah, my mouth's a bit dry, which is one of the reasons why I'm smacking my lips. Yeah, I'll end this segment here. I suppose the next segment for this video will be this, basically back together. Because there's nothing left really to do with the chassis, I don't think. Just to guess, get some of the bits, some of the electronics, and all the good stuff. So yeah, I'll try and get that either today or Monday from Motorsport. So yeah, guys, so thank you for watching this segment. A few days will pass for me, as per usual, and a few seconds will pass for you. So to you guys, I will see you lot in a few seconds. Yes. Alright, well, this is the last segment of part 2. Several days have passed since all of this, and yeah, this is the chassis now cleaned and back in its sort of very basic form, minus the steering, and you'll know that when you watch part 3, and you'll know why. So, but yeah, it's all been built back up. Kind of, yeah, it looks okay. Cleaned the wheels up, not too badly. They're not too bad. I haven't retro brighted them or anything. They've just undergone multiple cleans, a bit of sanding down, a bit of buffing, and yeah. I might end up painting them white though. I don't intend to use these, so I might paint them white just so they look really nice for when you put them on a shelf. So yeah, pogo sticks, but again, as you'll see in part 3, with the parts that I've purchased, I've purchased some oil-filled shocks. There's the little plate that I've made to cover up that hole there that used to have the thing in it, which I still forgot. But other than that, yeah, put this all together. Yeah, no cracks, no stripped screw threads, nothing. Pretty good. I quite liked it. Although these were scratched on the front and the rear, so I've actually replaced them with some of the spare ones that I had. I don't know where I got them from, but yeah, I actually had some spare ones for the front and the rear, so I just kind of swapped them out. And it was the same with the front and rear bumpers. I've actually got some new front bumpers unused, so I'm going to put those on. But yeah, other than that, I think it has cleaned up rather nicely. I might give a bit of T-cut just to the top, because it does have like a weird sort of texture to it. So I might add some T-cut, put some T-cut over that, and kind of polish that in. But other than that, the only other thing I've done, which I need to spray paint silver, or like silver Sharpie, is that I've used the TT-02 brake disc style hexes. I will get some of the metal ones, so I will get some of the metal ones at some point, but I was just wondering if these fit, and they do. So yeah, I just I don't have any silver paint, so I might just have to use a silver Sharpie. But they do fit. I wasn't sure if they did, but yep, they do. It's just there. Yeah, greased everything up, put some actual grease in the diffs, which it never had any. And yeah, they're nice and smooth. And the rear. Nice and smooth diffs. Polished the metal parts, like I polished these. These were actually sitting in WD-40 for at least a good week, so they should be super clean. Yeah. So yeah. So all in all, I think this TL-01 chassis from 1999 has cleaned up rather nicely. And I would obviously like to start putting some of the bits on, which means the oil-filled shocks that I purchased that you'll see in part 3, the steering links, which you'll also see in part 3, and the problem that I had, and then just yeah, put it all together. And the body shell, wheels and tires will be the last lot, and the paint as well, but I haven't decided what colour to paint it yet. I'm considering metallic red, because I'm going to hopefully acquire a Audi A4 Quattro Touring, but I'm not going to paint it up like the touring car. I'm just going to paint it like a road car. So I'm trying to think of like one colour, like maybe metallic red or metallic purple as two of my favourite colours. So I haven't quite decided on the colour scheme yet. But yeah, either way, I think this has come on quite nicely. I really can't tell if this has lost a bit of its shine or not, but it's a bit, yeah, I don't know. There is also still some yellow paint in the nooks and crannies that I can't quite get to, like that. Can't quite get to that. So I don't know if it is worth trying to retro bright or just go straight for like white paint. I might just go straight for white paint, to be honest. But yep, I'm liking this so far. I've never had a TL-01. This is my first one. Oh boy, I don't know how people run them like that. Oh yeah, and it's completely ball raced as well. So every single bearing or bushing has been replaced with a metal ball bearing, so everything should be nice and smooth. So yeah, well, there we go. Not much left to say. I think that's it for part 2, to be honest, showing from dirt to not dirt, or from dirty to clean, I should say. Yeah, I shall leave part 2 here. I've actually already recorded part 3, the parts, so kind of odd. I don't know why I recorded that first, but I did. But yeah, this is the end of part 2. So part 3 next, and then part 4, the body shell. So until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll return soon with some more of the TL-01. So until then, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.